Welcome to the Journals of the Information Entrepreneur with Leadership Through Data. I'm your host, Jacqueline Stockwell. Each week, I'll be talking to information leaders across the world about topics from information management, AI, privacy, data protection, public speaking, and other essential skills. I call this podcast The Voices of Influence. My goal is to empower and inspire information leaders to step out of their comfort zones, be bold, be brave, and be beautiful. Hope you enjoy the show.
I'm super excited today to be here with Mez on our podcast. And I just wanted to take some time just to have a conversation with you about who you are and what you do. And then we can take it from there.
Sounds good. So I'm Meekz, or Mareike. I'm the communication and IT manager at Boab Health Services, which is a non-for-profit in the Kimberleys of Western Australia, which is high up and very remote. And our clinicians are going through all the communities. So we're doing really good work, and I'm really proud to be part of that team. So I want to help them. And information management is a big one. That's how I can help them.
Definitely. So what hobbies and skills? Tell me a bit more about you first.
Okay, in Germany, I worked in advertising. I was a producer of lovely little sneakers and spots. And but I started in IT because I always loved taking things apart, especially computers. So I started in IT and then I went to production producer. And on one point, so in Germany, you don't quit a job because there are not many. So, but I was on that point. I didn't want to work. And so for me, work-life balance doesn't really exist. So if you have work where you really believe and you're motivated to do so, then it is like a fluent status. So in Germany, in the end, it wasn't that way. So I quit, naughty. And like everyone has on their bucket list Australia. So I did first jump into South Africa for 6 months to learn English. Didn't work out because every second person spoke German. So I'm like, go to Australia. And as a work and travel with work. But I went straight to the Kimberley and I just fell in love with that you don't have so many people around you. I still like people, but if you want to be by yourself, you were able to be by yourself, or you are able to be by yourself. And I really like this, that you actually have a choice. Yeah, and then I started after 2 children, I started with Boab Health and as a office manager first in Kununurra. And my position was to help the clinician to go out to the communities and help them with podiatry, like allied health, and with mental health. And it felt really that my work was important and I felt valued and motivated to just give more. And then finally I had this that work-life balance disappeared in a sense, and that I was able to give 100% or 90% to it, and it worked with my family also. So it was just this fluent back and forth, and I just fell in love with it. And then I came in this position because many organizations have the problem with information management because you don't know where to start really. It is a huge subject or a huge theme with so many layers you have to know. Normally you then start to have like a program, like a QMS, to just have at least tick the box on this is what we have to do. We've done that, but it just didn't went to other things. So you have a clinician who can search for a document for 2-3 hours and still doesn't find it, and I think such things can be repaired and can be much easier for people. Yeah. And then I came in this as a communication and IT manager because I love IT and I love communication. So I do what I love and it's fun and challenging.
It's really interesting, technique, the blend that you have with IT and communications and information management, because there's a lot of things now for information leaders that we have to know the technology to know how to look after it, but we also have to communicate to the business and influence the business on those things. So I think it's a really good kind of blended role, if that's okay to say that. Because it's a kind of well-rounded role. So how do you manage your professional development?
So our organization puts on like a very focus on personal development. So we are getting an amount every financial year, which is $4,000. And also we are getting 5 days off. So we can use our PD leave for any days. And at the moment, for me, for example, I'm also on study leave, which you can take per financial year also. So, and I think information management is, you can't separate them. So if you learn something about information management or even build an information management for your organization, then this is also work. So I wouldn't even have to take my PD leave to learn about information management, but build it at the same time. You know, you go normally to an organization and ask them, can you please to fix our information management? And then they're coming back with a crowd of, let's say, $1,000. And that's just to do an audit on your structure, and then they're coming back, okay, this is your structure and this is what we think you should do. But it doesn't fit, you know, because they're not working every day in this organization. They are not there. They don't know how staff is working or how much knowledge they have or how brave they are, because it has something to do with bravery. If you're afraid of a computer, you have to fix it first. So you go to this organization, you say, okay, you gave us this plan, it doesn't fit. They want another $5,000 or $8,000 to change it or even to implement it, because we are not there yet for implementation. We just got an audit and a proposal how to do it, which doesn't fit. So you're going in circles here. And you spend loads of money and you don't get the results. So if there is this course, you can actually find your people in the organization to do this and build this for you. You're saving money and it will be perfect for you. That's
and what course are you referring to?
Oh, the Empower course, because I think it is so clever. Just really has every layer you can think of in information management, because it's not enough to know, you know, your programs. No, you actually have to teach your staff how to use it and what would be the best way to use it. So if you're not good in communication or in explaining, it's still lost. So every component is really important there, every layer, and Empower is just really catching on here. I hadn't seen another course like that, like that.
And that's kind of how we built the Empower program. We built it so it helps with your professional development, but also with organisational compliance. And it is that sort of like saving for the consultancy aspects, for the audits, for the creation of documentation that you need to do, you know, design for information architecture, information asset registers, and those audit pieces, and it kind of all links together in a 12-month program. And I'm super excited that you're going to be part of that journey with us. One of the other things I wanted to ask you is, as information leaders, we have so many multiple things to think about, and sometimes that can be quite overwhelming. How do you, if you had a roadmap, what would be one of the key things that you'd want on that roadmap, so you knew exactly where to start from your professional development, but also from an organisation?
So audit, like I need to know what we got and what we actually need. It is very overwhelming, but if you know what you've got and you know what you actually need to do, but also what you want to do, because they are both different. We are trying to do ISO compliant, you know, and you have to tick there the boxes, but that's not all. there's much more. You have to know your organization and to make life easier for your staff, because information shouldn't be a burden. It should be your knowledge or the knowledge of the organization. So I would start with what have we got? And of course, it is like you always go in circles very often, because then you say like, oh, we actually need, let's say, a naming convention. But then you see there is a part that's missing too. So you're going in circles and it overwhelms you. Yes, it can be overwhelming. But also you can start having like a parking bay. So if you are, because you need now this naming convention, yes, but when you see the other problems popping up because you are writing this, you have a parking bay and you put it on a parking bay so you can come back to this later and you can actually finish one thing. For now, you might have to change it later again, but that's,
Yeah, and that's part why Leadership Through Data has created the Empowered Scorecard, because it gives you the roadmap of all the things you've been talking about, but it also gives you a way of assessing your current state, and then as you progress, you can redo the scorecard, and then it will give you an updated score. So you actually then takes you on the journey through your personal and organisational development.
And you know what I really like on this scorecard? Sorry, I'm just...
No, carry on.
Excited. I like on this scorecard that there is a flexibility, because we all on a different level in knowledge and on our journey. So you're doing this scorecard and it actually tells you where you lack. So let's say you are lacking in knowledge in SharePoint or Purview, then it will show you and you go to the course you have for this there. So, and then later on you can do the scorecard again and see where you are in your journey, which is amazing. So you won't forget anything. So you don't even need a parking bay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was our tool because we couldn't deal with it in any other way. But you solved our problem even so you didn't know our problem, or ours in particular, like personal, individual. So that's for me, I can see you really thought about this. You really thought about the problems most organizations are actually facing.
Yeah, 100%. And then I wrote my book about it too. So the book is the blueprint of the Empower program. So it gives you the high level detail of all the things that we would consider, and even more is going to go into the program as well. But the blueprint of my book, so I'm quite excited about my book as a fellow ADHDer. It arrives very soon, so I get a physical copy in my hand. But it's a really good tool for, I think, for new professionals, for current professionals to have on your desk. And it's this tick box of like, oh, what do I need to refer to now? Or, that guided tool. So we can be giving you everything that you need to know as an information leader, that you can progress on your journey and empower yourself, as we say, leadership through data.
It just fits so good. It's just beautiful.
Fabulous. And if you follow me on LinkedIn, you can see some of the outtakes from the Audible version as well. So that'll be out on the 24th of June on Amazon. So it's very exciting about that for review. So Mez, thank you so much for your time today. I'm so grateful. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Journals of the Information Entrepreneur with me, Jacqueline Stockwell. I hope you found this episode inspiring and helpful and have some takeaway tips that can be useful to you. If you liked this episode, please like, review and share it with your friends. Your support helps us reach more information leaders to stay inspired and listen to great content. Want to test out your strengths and weaknesses and measure it against our Empower framework? Please complete the scorecard. It's a great way to improve and evaluate your skills. You can find the scorecard at the end of the description of this podcast. Stay tuned for a new podcast every Thursday, and remember to be bold, be brave and be beautiful.